Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Shenandoah University broadcast. The difference is tonight, this broadcast will know pain. My name is Chase Newcomb, an Akatsuki member, and I'm joined tonight by Brennan Moss as we dive into some Tekken action to kick off the night, and we may have some Rocket League action afterwards. It's Halloween, so we're a little themed out this evening. Well, at least I am a little themed out this evening. And Buzzy is my new recruit to the Akatsuki, so it will be quite an eventful evening as we try to kidnap Naruto Uzumaki. Sorry, wrong notes. As we watch the new fight against our two opponents tonight in CFGC.
Yes, it'll be a fun night. You know, you are over here dressed as an Akatsuki member. I'm over here dressed as a goat, a.k.a. Mossman. Now, this is third week of CFGC. Second week that we are broadcasting, regular season at least. Obviously, there's seeding beforehand. And I kind of want to get right into it. I'm excited. I love Tekken. I love watching fighting games. I love playing fighting games. I'm just excited. Now, right now, we have Kenza, who's sitting at a 5-1 match record. Now, of course, it gets really a little bit confusing because you have match record, which is, you know, how many best of fives you've won and lost. Then you have, within the best of fives, what was the set record? You know, did you win 3-2? Did you win,
yeah, because the first week, due to the FFs, was undefeated.
Yes, FFs count as 5-0s, which is a big thing. But it's also split because I think the way they do the seeding is they don't really count the FFs as, like, round wins.
Sure.
So if you get an FF, you get the match win, but I don't know if you get the set win.
That would make sense.
I don't think that adds to the stats, because technically you didn't win 5 sets, but you won the match. Gets weird. Fighting games can be weird, but...
yeah, that would skew the data pretty hard.
Yeah, it would skew the data pretty hard. The only match... So last week, let's do a recap of last week since I wasn't on stream.
Yeah.
I believe Kenza won... You know what? I have the stats right here. Kenza won last week against... lost last week against Azucena, and then, lost 2 matches last week, won a DQ. Lost 2-3 against Eddie, and then 0-5 against Asuka. Tough week last week for Kenza.
Dang Eddie players, man. They've flipped jumping around all over the place. Yeah, the 2-3 is tough. Still good they took 2, because like we mentioned before, every game does count. But very much a different rhetoric than the first week when we saw Kenza take out all the opponents 3-0 fashion. Last week, a little bit of a tougher time.
Yeah, a little bit of a tougher time indeed. Now, however, new week, new matchups. We are looking at tonight what we believe to be, because now, important thing to note, Armor King available for use.
Oh,
Armor
he's
King
been out for 2 weeks.
Has been out for 2 weeks, and the rule is when new characters come out in CFG, in fighting games, my bad, there's a 2-week grace period, and then those DLC characters are allowed. So maybe there's an off chance one of these players, you know, has other characters in the bag, or the excitement of Armor King is just too much to contain. They want to play Armor King.
Well, you know, I think that there's a lot of differences between the different games and esports titles. It is very refreshing to know, I think across the board, that is a rule that's used in every league for every new content that comes out for virtually every single game. You see a new character drop in Overwatch or in League of Legends or in Marvel Rivals, 2-week period. You see new maps drop, 2-week period. Glad to see that CFGC adopts sort of those same standards because otherwise you're just going to have people picking up this character day one, labbing it overnight, and then throwing it into competition. Plus, with there being a new character, that could mean a lot of new mechanics, and that could mess up the game in a lot of different ways, both foreseen and unforeseen.
Yeah, you know, you have bugs, or you just have people, you know, legacy players just, you know, a lot of moves do carry over, and it's just immediate advantage against players that haven't played the character yet because maybe they're new to Tekken.
You mean in a fighting game where each character has well over 100 moves, they don't just reprogram all 100 moves every new game?
You know, surprisingly, no, they don't. You know, especially, I mean, we also got to look at it's Armor King.
Yes.
It is essentially just a heelish wrestling term usage, but heelish version of Normal King. It's a bad guy version of Normal King. But
Heavy grappler, too, which we did see in week 1 against the Dragunov. Kenza was teching those grabs pretty well. So if Armor King is played at any point tonight, I would be looking for them to do that, because Armor King and King both being more grapple-heavy characters.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to look out for. You get grappled by King, not only is it just annoying, not only is it just a lot of damage taken away, you got to worry about the strings of grabs, because like you don't tech the first one, then there's a mental stack, because what if it's a string of grabs and then you get grabbed again and then again and then again? You missed 5 breaks in a row. But enough about Armor King. Not going to see him just yet, as we are going into the first match. Kenza is going to be playing against Inc. as Lydia.
Ah, yes, Lydia. We talked a little bit about this before the game. Oh, is that a Jujutsu Kaisen
That is
outfit?
Itadori. That is a UG reference.
Super cool. I love it when we see more games put stuff like that in the game.
Speaking of costumes, that's a Buzzy costume that Kenza is wearing.
Very much looks like Buzzy, I was about to say. You see that, Buzzy? You got a shooters out here helping out. Speaking of shooters, my lord, Lydia coming out of the gate, just crushing it, taking 50% off of this Lars Kenza's rocking.
Yeah, taking a little bit of damage off rip, but Kenza does not care. Mix up, gets a combo going. Now, the Lydia just trying to guess and win the 50-50s, unable to, going to lose this first round. Now, when you're looking at Lydia, you have to worry about the install, you have to worry about heat engager. When Lydia gets the install, when Lydia engages the heat, it's tough, because there's a lot of damage coming out. But if you just combo her, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't really do much when you're getting comboed into oblivion on either side, really.
Yeah, and that mix-up. Now, we talked about Lars last time we were on. Lars is very flashy. There's a lot of spinning moves, and there's a lot of options out of it. Now, the biggest worry when you're going against the Lars is winning those 50-50s, and right now, Lydia's not doing that. A low going to miss. And as that was a really good spacing from Kenza, going to make Inc. regret that low. Ooh. Heat engager attempted from both sides, but the move coming out from Kenza, going to work, throw, stopping the pressure just for a second now, but it doesn't matter. The spacing works. Lydia throwing out an unsafe move and paying the price for it.
Yeah, that seems to be the story of Tekken a lot of the time. You know, you're throwing out a move you're not ready for, or a move that you think you're safe on, and then you're not.
Yeah.
And then they're going to punish that. You mentioned a little bit before the series started that Lydia works off this heat drive very well, but we saw in that round Lars use their own and showed a lot more dominance.
Yeah, and right now, Lydia just hasn't gotten to the point where... Lydia's not the greatest character. Now, we saw Lydia just gained a stack, now in heat mode, and it's helping a lot, but it's tough now. You're out of heat, you're not getting comboed by Kenza, losing a lot of your life for it. Kind of just hoping for a mistake here from Lars.
Well, you know what I'm noticing now as well here, Mossman, is that we're seeing some new moves come out from Lars. This is not the same combination game that they were throwing out week 1 on stream. They're playing a lot more to the mid-stage combos instead of actually trying to play off of these wall breaks like we saw in week 1.
Yeah, no, which is a great analysis, because in the interview I had with Kenza beforehand, he mentioned that he feels like he just reverts to his comfortable moves way too much, way too often, and is going to try to spice up his moveset and use a lot more of the tools that Lars has. Now, we're on a big stage. This is a big stage, and Lars struggles a bit with that, because where Lars excels is in the close quarters combat, mixing up the characters, especially on the wall. It's hard in those Oki situations, but he's controlling the space really well right now. Lydia's struggling winning these 50-50s.
Yeah, Lydia even struggling to know what's safe and what's not, it seems like, at this point. Lars is doing a phenomenal job with these mix-ups as we're watching right now. Now up 2-1 as well, while Lydia was able to take a round off of them. Kenza just putting in the work against Inc.
Yeah, in this we're in round 4, set number 2. One thing I have noticed is that Lydia just keeps trying to go for the same stuff. Now, they do have all 3 stacks. Going to engage in the heat, and that sidestep is going to win the round and the set number 2 for Kenza. One thing that Lydia is really weak, Lydia doesn't have great tracking. So once she gets into these flowcharts,
game.
Yeah, very unfortunate in the 3D fighting game. It's, like, to be fair, a lot of players, especially in Tekken 8, don't sidestep a lot. So Lydia can sometimes take advantage of that. But it's tough when you get into a flowchart. And as we see, Lydia is a lot of flowcharty moves. You can kind of tell when she's going to do something, very predictable character. But one sidestep ruins that entire flowchart for Ink.
And that then sways favor pretty heavily in Kenza if Kenza's able to sidestep, because it seems like Kenza is recovering from these moments a lot faster than we're seeing Ink recover and know what's safe and what's not. I am enjoying as well seeing some more sauce come out from Kenza. Bread and butters are great, but, you know, butter is not spicy, like you were alluding to a couple minutes ago. So throwing in a couple of different moves, trying to tech check Lydia here and there, that's the sort of sauce you want to see, especially as you progress through the season. You want to show all your hand, all your cards in the first week. Hey, here's my bread and butter. Now you know what to look out for.
Now, we just saw an example of abusing the flowchart as Lydia went back-to-back for the same moves, but the ender was different both times, and it's going to lead to a big round win as we are in set number 3. Now is the time to get the momentum. Now is the time to gain momentum, and you have it going into round 3 with all 3 stacks that you need, install ready, heat ready, but
there it is.
Lars going to throw out his own heat engager. Few back-and-forth moves, going to block the high. And this is what I'm talking about. One move, a lot of damage.
Yeah, my lord. Chunking here and there, but it seems like Lars, Kenza on this Lars is able to know what's safe and what's not. Lydia is struggling to maintain this combo pressure as Lars is just finding these small openings and making do with them.
Is he safe? He's not. That's a huge Rage Art call out from Ink, and I think that's going to kill.
Yeah, I mean,
it should kill.
You're getting cutscened right now. It's looking like it'll kill.
Yep,
yeah,
it does. And I believe that's just because, I mean, Rage Arts just do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cutscene.
It's a cutscene. But this is what we're seeing here is a great adjustment out of Ink. However, to start this round, Kenza going straight back to that pressure strategy. What a great read there. Safe on. That was just an absolutely great read there from Ink. Miss of the heat. No more heat here for Lars.
But wasted a lot of Lydia's heat too, and gonna put the heat back on them. Pressure's up. If you can't stay in the heat, get out of the kitchen. It's 2-2 in this 4th set.
Those were some absolutely insane interactions.
Yeah.
And when you go into the final round, you gotta breathe for a second, because if you don't, you're gonna get caught off guard, especially with the aggression from the other player. Not ready for it. Now, both players taking about 50%, but Lars not done yet. Heat engaged for both characters. What a throw break!
Yeah, the throw breaks, like I was saying right before we started, that is what Kenza's excelled in so far this season, or what they've shown on broadcast to excel in. Keeping the pressure up. That's not going to be safe at the end, though. Lydia trying to capitalize here, get the little bit of health that is left. Kenza's holding on to. Going to get punched. Kenza. Now not much to recover, going to have to find a safe option to get in, instead getting kicked in the knees and or kicked in the shins. That's never fun. I've been on a scooter once or twice, and when you get hit in the shin, it's a bad time.
Yeah, that's not fun. Yeah, Kenza unable to read the low there. It's tough, you know. And also, when you have Rage Art, you kind of expect the other player to be more respectful about it. Not there. Lydia read the fact that, you know, just kind of believed that Kenza wasn't going to read the low, and he didn't. Now, as we go into set number 4, Kenza's still up 2-1 here in the series.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is in most of these rounds, whoever's getting the first hit is doing pretty much 50%. They're not dropping these first combos on either side. It just goes when we're more into the round. Seems like more of these combos are getting dropped. Certainly that one will not get dropped, though, as Lars, Kenza on this Lars takes their first round in this set.
Yeah, sidestep isn't going to get Ink away from the pressure there. Now down 50% of health. Kenza trying to use his heat to the best of his ability. It's going to work. You now have Lydia in a combo. Are you going to be able to finish it?
So explain to me why the heat went away there entirely. He had 50% of his heat still up, but then used a move and it all went away.
So that is just a heat smash. So when you engage your heat, it's a one-button press to engage your heat, and it's a specific move that is armored unless the other character uses their own heat at the same, like afterwards. Now, when you press that button again while you're after you've engaged your heat, you get a move like what we're seeing right here that's going to do a whole lot of damage. But the great thing about Lydia is that after that heat engager, you can just keep going.
Oh, nice. Okay. I think I'm definitely
It's
following.
kind of like
I'm definitely following. So I'm seeing it. There's some moments where they're getting their heat back. What is going on there? How are they getting their heat back when they're using their heat meter? Tough.
Yeah, this is tough. That's just a rage.
Yeah.
And that should take the round here.
Oh, definitely.
For Ink. As it does. Now down one round here in set number 4. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a big ball. I'm not a ball knower when it comes to some things. Not
You're
great
talking
knowledge.
about the heat?
Yeah.
How they get heat back? Yeah, I feel like they're just getting small hits with their heat drive, and so they're getting the heat back. At least that's my initial observation looking at it. But it is an interesting mechanic that we didn't really touch much on the first week that we were on broadcast.
Yeah, and it's coming into play a lot here, especially when Lydia needs it as much as she does, because she's not, the highest tier character in the game.
Yeah, even the chip damage, Moss, has been pretty nutty when she's using the heat drive.
Especially with those installs.
Yeah, I mean, look at that chip damage. It brought Lars down to that percent. But going to take this fourth set, Kenza now up 4-0 so far.
Yeah, the headbutt did not care about the installs at all. It's 3-1. Yeah.
3-1,
3-1.
not 4-0. There was that one round.
Yes, there was that one set. Now, Kenza takes this match. So, another win in the column for Kenza. But, as we mentioned on the last CFGC stream, we play out all the sets.
Yeah.
Regardless of the score. And now, this is the part where I talked about last stream. Some players almost get more comfortable. Weight lift off their shoulder. Now I'm just playing off instinct. There's no pressure. I'm not stressed. I'm just playing Tekken.
Yeah, I mean, you still do want to win these sets, though, because it carries a lot into the postseason rankings and the season, or the round-by-round rankings in CFGC, since they go off of a Swiss system. All but a prayer here. There we go. Kenza will get the kick to finish out that first round in our last set of Kenza versus Ink.
Yeah, not wrong choice there to crouch for Lydia, but mixing up Lars right now, going to engage their heat, has all their health left. Now we're going to see how they use it. Not going to throw the low again. We saw that earlier. That low is catching Kenza off guard. And when Lydia has engaged their heat and they have their install, it's kind of tough because you get scared. You're so worried about the pressure from the punches and worried about not throwing something out because it could get parried. Didn't mention before, Lydia does have a parry. We haven't seen it all day, and I'm very, very curious as to why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did see Kenza, and Kenza's winning a lot of the rounds that they're getting the first hit on. We saw at the beginning of this round popped the heat immediately and jumped in, got a massive combo. And Lydia in the round prior did the same thing, nearly getting a perfect on Kenza that round, but now we're seeing it again, getting these button presses. Combo tool is just immaculate. Lydia's chipping this damage away. Look at this now, 40%. Heat engaged. Back kick. It's looking like it's going to be a round for Lydia. There's not much that Kenza's able to do there. Wasn't able to sidestep or take advantage of Lydia's pressure.
Yeah, when you're in the Lydia blender, it's pretty much hard. It's really hard to get out because you're just terrified of the damage she can do. But speaking of damage, Lydia's going to throw out the heat engager, get a little bit out of it. That chip damage, like you mentioned earlier, is coming into play. However, it doesn't matter for Lars. Lars has the combo going. Gonna see if he can end it with enough damage. Heat engager coming out to extend the combo, and it's going to extend it enough to take the last round of the last set as Kenza takes the series 4-1.
Yeah, and you love to see it. 4-1 fashion. Kenza, looking good tonight, especially going into the second round. A little bit more worried about the Jhin than what we were this character. So I'm excited to see that Kenza's playing at the top of their game tonight.
Yeah, if you can minimize the damage that Lydia has, after the installs and using the heat moves that they have, it's a pretty easy game, especially when both players are close in skill level. Lydia doesn't have too much. It's just, being worried about the amount of damage she can do when she's in those moments. But that was great work. We saw a lot of... I think that while Kenza played incredibly well the first week we streamed, this was great. We saw a lot more variety, more options being used, and that just keeps the other player on their toes.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea what they're going to throw out if you don't read the bread and butter. And even throughout the series, the first couple of sets, Kenza was using a lot of the same tools. We saw that overhead throw used quite a bit. As the set ended, Kenza was using and throwing in a lot of lows, using that mix-up. And I was pleased to see the variety, like you had mentioned, come out of Kenza. That shows that this is a Tekken player who is perfecting their craft, sitting down week by week, not just learning one combo, which in a lot of fighting games you can get away with. Tekken, very difficult to do so.
Yeah, and as we look at these replays, absolutely wonderful work on the spacing too. I want to mention the spacing, like we just saw right there in that move. Being far away enough, and also just having the knowledge of, okay, I know what move she's throwing out. I know an exact move that'll hit from this space, that'll take care of the round, that that the Lydia player might not know.
Yeah, as you're watching at home, you can probably see there's a lot of moves that are pretty self-intuitive and explanatory when it comes to their frame data. If someone's throwing a punch and they take a solid 2 seconds afterwards to reset, which that usually doesn't happen with punches, but in this scenario, you know that they're going to be negative on hit because now you know that you can capitalize on it. Tekken's sometimes well versed in that, but there are some characters that have moves. It's very hard to tell what's going, whether or not they're going to be safe or not on that move, and that's just knowing game. That's game recognizing game.
It is game recognizing game, and I also liked the sidestepping that we saw out of Kenza because Lydia, like we mentioned before, not great tracking. When you don't have great tracking, what comes into play? Sidestepping.
Yep.
3D fighting game. Kenza did a great job. Because once you sidestep and Lydia is continuing with the flowchart, the world is yours.
Yeah.
You have every option under the sun. She is not safe at all. You can hit her with a combo launcher, whatever combo launcher you want, and you get a lot of damage out of it.
Yeah, she seems like or at least from the set, she seemed like a very aggressive character. Did very well when they were playing their game, but if you force them to play any other game and put them in tech situations, that's another great moment to note, right? We saw Kenza, I think he was put into 2 different tech situations and got both of those grabs. Lydia didn't counter a single grab.
Yeah, and that's a whole different mental stack situation because when you're in a game that has as many grabs as it does, you're obviously terrified of it. So, but it's also something that people fall back on, right? So the Lydia throwing out a grab, recognizing that it got teched, and then throwing out another grab, recognizing that got teched. You stop going back to. You stop going back.
Flowchart is gone.
Is gone. You don't throw grabs like that anymore. But one thing I like to do, and this is also not only do I like to do it, I just fall back onto it because maybe I'm not the best Tekken player, but just keep throwing them out. There's almost really no. Unless the other player is really good and just using that opportunity to destroy you, if they tech the grab or if they back off of it, there's not many downsides to at least throwing it out there. If they tech it, right?
Yeah. If
they tech it, they tech it. It's different if they, use their movement to get away from it. But I think if you're throwing out grabs and they're teching them, make them tech it. Make them. That is a whole different layer that they have to think about and that they have to stress about.
Yeah, because when a grab is teched, it puts you both back in neutral in the same frame data. It literally puts you back into a neutral state.
Exactly.
So both players can then, it's like you're starting the round, same state as like starting the round over. So you really do lose nothing by throwing the grabs out there, which is why historically there's been a whole subset of characters in this game that are just really good with grabs, and a lot of the characters that a lot of players that play those characters just do phenomenal.
Yeah, they absolutely do phenomenal. And I believe we are going to go ahead and take an ad break. Don't go anywhere. We will be back with more Tekken action.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Welcome back. We're here, and we're ready for the next matchup. that we're going to see Kenza go up against. You might have seen a little bit on the back end that we were watching some plays go on if you were kind of spectating, looking around, playing against this Jin that was playing Brian, actually, against the Lydia that we just saw Kenza face off against.
Yeah, which is a whole different ball game. Brian, one of the best characters in the game. I hate him. I hate him with a burning passion in my soul. He is the most annoying character in the game besides Lily. The Lily one is because I play Nina.
Mm-hmm.
And even Arslan Ash, who is the best Tekken player in the entire world, struggles playing against Lily, which tells you something.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're going to go into this match. You know, Kenza just won 4-1 against the Lydia, against Inc. Now, we are about to see a Brian. We were not prepared for this. But here we go. Now, the thing to note about Brian, some of the best combo damage, some of the best wall carry in the game. If you get hit, if you get counter hit, you are gone. You are to the other side of the screen.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Tekken 7, and Brian, from what my local scene would say about Brian, he's the most Mickey Mouse character in the game. He has a little bit of everything and is very annoying to fight against. Now, we are seeing Kenza opting out of the Buzzy skin, gonna rock the yellow robes for this one. Is there some sort of competitive advantage here to having a robe kind of cover most of your feet?
Maybe. Maybe?
Maybe?
No.
Okay, fair.
It's possible.
Fair, yeah.
You know, you just gotta worry. Like maybe you have trouble grabbing the leather when you try to throw Lars. But now, one thing to note here is movement for Brian not the greatest, and so that's gonna take a little bit of options to try to get away from the crazy mix-ups that Lars has, especially when he's on the wall. Brian really needs to get out of the situation, and he does. Huge power crush there. Not going to get the combo continued. Lars does block it at first, but that low is going to do a little bit of chip damage. Doesn't matter. Kenza taking Brian for a ride to the other side of the stage.
Oh, yeah, certainly. And almost got a reversal into the wall. Another thing to note, we are on... Oh, my gosh. What just happened there?
That was I believe he was going for the grab. I can't tell. That flying grab. And then Brian just said, nope, get down there. Continued the combo. Now the Rage Art's going to call out the bad jab there from Kenza. And we're just going to watch a cutscene and feel bad that Lars just lost the round.
Yeah, that's a little tough. Now up 2 rounds. This Brian showing the fin above the water because this shark is coming out and stalking the beach. Now, I want to note we are on a map that is a lot smaller than the first map we saw in the first series. This map you can actually play off the walls a little bit more. Additionally, this Brian, when we were watching them play against Lydia, the matches were pretty close, Moss. So Kenza definitely has a wall in front of them to climb.
Yeah, now the biggest problem with that is while you're playing Lars, you do like that you can get to that wall a little bit faster than you may on other maps. But as we're seeing right here, Brian has one of the best wall games in the entirety of Tekken 8. So while you can carry Brian over there, Brian can also carry you over there and just mix you up, and you'll have a tough time. Now, however, Kenza does win his first round. A little bit of tracking issues there. That's very much so a Tekken 8 moment. Power Crush comes in. Lars' head bounces off the ground. But Brian whiffing on the combo. Now going to get put in a tough spot. Lars burning his heat.
Yeah, Kenza having a hard time finding an opening here, getting their combo game on lock, and man, this Brian is just punishing exceptionally well. Triple jab into the wall. That move was a little crazy.
Yeah, that move is really annoying because once you get hit, there's nothing you can do about it. And great spacing there out of Shark to take set number 1. Yep.
Did you just pull out a Gatling gun?
It's a possibility that he was hiding that in his back pocket.
Huh?
I'm a little confused why he doesn't use that during the match. But, you know, he just prefers using his fists and his feet.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Speaking of crazy, I do dig the outfit we're seeing on Brian here. This neon green and black time for Halloween season. Pretty nice. Pretty schnice.
Yeah, really nice. And so was that wall carry and that counter. Heat engager not going to do anything. And Kenza going to call him out for it. That high bad move there from Shark to crouch.
Oh.
Now he's going to pay for it. 50% health down in the wall, which is exactly where Kenza wants him. Now going to let him get back up. Ooh, crouch there to duck the jab. Going to work very well there for Shark, as now both players line up against the wall.
Yeah, Shark is just excelling in this punish game. Kenza literally back up against the wall, not able to. Oh, if Kenza's able to carry this
Oh,
commentator's curse. Commentator's curse.
That's tragic because that was an incredible read to crouch block there from Kenza, but the sidestep going to win the round there for Brian. Now, huge heat engager going to get Brian over to the wall. Now, the mix-up game has to be strong here if Kenza wants to be able to win this round.
Yeah, Kenza, we haven't been able to really talk about it because it's been so fast, but Kenza has done a much better job in these last 2 rounds carrying these combos and making them look so fluid and so easy. Whereas in the first set, Kenza was struggling to carry a combo because he was just getting punished constantly by these jabs he thought was safe and just was not.
That was a huge opening move there. Brian on his back foot, but a couple of punches coming out. Not much. Huge low parry there out of Kenza. Now, Shark a little bit hesitant to throw out any other moves, and it's going to cost him.
Now Kenza's in the corner.
Yep. Ooh, huge counter, going back and forth. Low, going to get Brian into that low damage. Wall game coming out of Shark. Fantastic work. Both players with their Rage Art going to throw escape there, but it's not going to matter. Kenza caught pressing buttons.
Yeah, countering the throw was just immaculate. You can tell this Brian is playing on their game. They're getting these wall carries down. They're dropping very little combos. They are aggressive while also patient, waiting for Kenza to throw out these moves and punishing nearly immediately. Kenza definitely has a hill to climb here. With only 1 round under their belt and the first set going to the Shark, Kenza has a lot to learn here in the set.
Yeah, that mid going to back Brian off a bit, get a little bit of damage. Lars, though, out of heat, but into Rage Art territory. Brian getting a little bit of health back there from a few jabs. Chip damage. Both players kind of just trying to play safe. A lot of moves being thrown out at once. Low coming in there from Kenza. Oh.
Yeah, this Brian can kind of wait this out if he wanted to. I mean, with 11 seconds on the clock and half a health bar, you got to wonder, was it almost better to just back up and wait out Kenza?
It would, yeah. I think it would have been there, play the spacing game a little bit. But I feel like when you think you have something, you keep going for it, and then by the time you realize it's too late, you've already pressed the button, and now you're down in a 2-0 hole here in the series.
Yeah, not picked up a set yet. Kenza looking to take their first one here. The pressure is certainly on for this Brian, and it's like you said earlier, Mossman, if Brian wins this, pressure's kind of off the Brian, so we might see Kenza take the next set if they're unable to take this one. But right now, looking exceptionally clean, carrying this combo into the corner. Got 1, now count them 2 wall hits.
Yeah, I think what Kenza has to realize is that defense is going to come into play here. You're not doing a great job of maintaining that stage pressure. What you're going to need to do is play defensively, bait out some moves from the Brian, and then strike when the iron is hot.
Yeah, Kenza, the conversions were working before against Lydia, but the conversions just are not working here as this Brian is ready for it. Kenza is going to have to mix up a little bit more what they're cooking if they want it to come out hot.
Yeah, and that low was a great example of that. Now you have Shark on his back feet, but a huge counter there. Now Brian has the capability to send Lars to the other side of the stage. He's going to miss with the heat engager. Not going to be able to send the combo, and he's going to pay the price once again. Kenza taking 2 straight rounds, trying to make this comeback.
Yeah, Kenza this is a different Kenza than what we saw earlier in the series. Sometimes that mental reset can do wonders for you. And Kenza, not looking great in the disadvantage state, but when they have advantage and they're pushing these combos, it is just a completely different game. If they're able to finish this one out, they'll take this whole set 3-0, near perfect play. Is the janitor outside, Moss? Because I'm seeing a reverse sweep inbound.
Well, I was kind of hoping you weren't going to say anything. Cast a curse, I'm kind of terrified of that. But that was absolutely a great comeback there. The momentum is now back towards the center. What I saw out of there were those lows right there are catching Brian, they're catching Shark off guard. And it's leading to moments like this. We're now going to see a stage switch. Combo still going. He's going to miss the high, but heat engager comes out. And Brian sidesteps the next move. Not going to be able to dodge these lows. These lows are killing Brian.
Yeah, I was about to say, Kenza has gotten so much value off of these lows. You say it's great value, low prices, right?
Yeah, the nice crew. No, you got throw coming out of Kenza. Not gonna be able to get any damage out of it. However, ooh, that was a great move there from Brian, jabbing him out of the low. Now both players kind of at a standstill. A few damage coming out.
Yeah,
Heat
look at this
engager.
complete brick wall from Kenza, just unbothered, undeterred from their mission, pushing up against the wall. That's going to be the Brian now retaliating with the heat engager, trying to push in. Kenza being patient, waiting it out, waiting for the get up, knowing that if they just are patient, the heat engager will go away. Teching, countering that throw, now pushing back into the wall. The Brian has him on the edge and is going to take that round. By the way, Kroger, please sponsor us.
Now, the Brian has caught on to these lows that have costed him rounds. He is crouch jabbing Kenza out of those lows, like what we see here, and he might have to change up his strategy.
Yeah, now that Brian's catching on to this, it is a bit tougher. Kenza falling kind of into despair as what was working before and what they were relying on is not working. You got to mix it up a little bit more. Going to get a bounce off of that, though. Back into the wall. Kenza is on fire. Pressure up against the wall. That's going to be a Rage Art now in effect. Brian using their heat of their own, and now Kenza's going to be put in a cutscene. I don't think this kills, though, Moss.
It shouldn't kill. This is going to do a whole lot of damage, but this shouldn't kill. Now you're going to be, Lars has the Rage Art. Brian out of heat, has no Rage Art. Going to have to play a little bit slow. Actually, not. Reads the move and is able to respond accordingly and take round number 3.
There we go. Okay, we're getting in. And that's what I'm saying. The conversions were working before, but now this Brian is just patient. And what it was working. Kenza's going to have to find another very niche move to get in as a combo starter. Because right now, Brian is just picking up what they're putting down.
Yeah, I think Kenza's a bit scared to try to do any of the mix-ups. Because if you're caught just kind of spinning around against the Brian's just going to make you pay. And now both players out of heat. There is some health to be earned back. Not much earning happening just yet. Kenza getting backed up into the wall. Few jabs coming out and a high kick from both players as we're kind of at a standstill at the moment, waiting for an opening. And Lars is going to find it and going to capitalize on it as now we are going into round number 5 here of set number 4.
Yeah, this round is going to be probably the most crucial round of the entire set, Moss. Kenza needs to maintain this momentum going into the 4th game and gonna have to keep alive if they want to win this set overall.
Yeah, absolutely huge counter out of that. You want to get out of the wall. You have to get away from the wall if you're Kenza because you're just going to keep getting hit if you don't.
Activating the heat now. Kenza looking for an opening, instead finding at the end of a 3-piece combo. Call it KFC because them jabs are hurting.
Those jabs were hurting, and now Kenza has lost the match 3-1. Don't go anywhere, though. We do play the last set out.
Yeah.
This is a huge set for Kenza. You don't want to lose 4-1. You want to come out with some positives here. Now, Kenza, the throws have been almost a non-factor in this match. You know, for every throw, which isn't many, every throw that Brian has thrown out, he's teched. Now, Kenza realizes, hey, I lost. Don't care. Let's keep the pressure. Let's go back to my way. Let's go back to my pressuring ways that it's working out. Almost at full health. Brian doesn't know what to do. Throws out a few moves. Gonna pay the price for it. But sends Lars up into the air. Now on the wall. Heat engager coming through. Not gonna get much out of it. And going to take a punch.
You know what's crazy to me, Moss, is the difference in some players and how they look at pressure. Some players do exceptionally well under pressure, and they actually don't compete as well when there is no pressure. And other players, when you take all the pressure off, it's like they play a completely different game.
Yeah, you're just not really worried, because while you are worried about it, because it does count, it just still feels like this metaphorical weight on your shoulders has been lifted. And you start just playing comfortably, and you think clearer, and you're able to do stuff like this that you weren't able to do before. You have Brian on the wall, and you're going to get the second round win. This is huge. He needs to keep the momentum going here into this 3rd round.
That's like when Kenza is in this advantage and really carrying these combos, it seems like there's really not much this Brian can do in this onslaught. And every time Kenza gets them on the wall, just keeping them on the ground. I mean, look at that. That's like 60% of their health. They're now in near rage territory as Kenza is just keeping up the pressure. As I say that, Kenza now getting pushed up against the wall. Brian's going to activate the heat of their own. And Kenza pushing back now, capitalizing on the just choppiness of Brian's attacks here. And doing much more with this round. They're going to need to win the round, though, if they want to get another chip on the belt.
Yeah, and he is going to do just that. That is a huge set win there for Kenza. That's one less set. You're docked on the standings here going into, coming out of now week 3 of the regular season. And while he did lose 3-2, I think that last set showed great stuff, and just throughout the entire night, because Brian, annoying. He's one of the best characters in the game. You take what you can get when you play against him. I think we saw fantastic variety. There was a lot more variety that we saw from the moves used by Kenza tonight, which is great going forward. If you just do the same things over and over again, I wouldn't say fighting game players normally aren't VOD watchers unless they're like, Evo level, like top 30, like top 64 talent normally. But
they're just going into practice.
They're going into practice. But if you're doing the same thing over and over again, the better a player is, the faster they catch on. So being able to switch up your moves and your strategies in a game, especially like Tekken when it's very flowcharted. You're guessing 50-50. Is if the player now has to think about 5 moves out of a string instead of just the 2 you were using before, that is a huge mental stack, and you're going to struggle a lot more playing against a player like that.
Yeah, and this Brian was doing that. I mean, as we take a look at the replay, let's see some of these moments as they came out. Those jabs, those rapid-fire jabs are crazy. We saw an upgraded version of that a couple of times, but most namely just the regular ones were crazy and neutral.
Yeah, Brian's jabs are just absolutely insane. We mentioned before, the wall carry and the combo damage, especially on a stage such as this where the walls are so close, it's really tough. Because you get hit once, Brian's taking 50% of your health, and now you're at the wall, and Brian's just going to just absolutely destroy you. But we have joining us on the desk the player in question himself, Kenza. We weren't expecting the Brian tonight. We saw the Brian. Do you think that may have caught you off guard a little bit, maybe towards the start?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty hard adjusting into something I wasn't prepared for. I was like, oh man, never thought I was going to see a Brian for this. Was expecting Jin and walked into an entirely different world.
So my question for you is a question that we actually had in chat by our former student and alumni, Kevin Clayton. And pretty justifiable question. Like, what genie did you rub their lamp to say, can I tech every single throw in Tekken? Just, that's what I want. Because tonight, every single throw that was thrown out, you countered.
I think I just was comfortable again. I will say, like, some of the past weeks, I was, like, really jittery. And I was like, man, so I instantly forgot all my throw techs. But, I asked the genie, I was like, remind me of who I used to be. And, that's kind of what I did for this week. And, you lose a lot of health to not taking throws, and it leaves you in a terrible position. So I, definitely locked in, and I was like, I'm not going to get as thrown as much as I used to, at least.
Yeah, it was crazy. You expect 1 or 2 to get thrown in there, and for the viewers at home, when you're teching throws in Tekken, you got to be very specific as to what is being thrown out. So that's just game knowledge on your end, knowing, hey, he's grabbing me here, I'm going to tech with my right arm, left arm, etc.
Yeah, you can usually tell by what arm comes out forward first. So if the right arm comes out forward first, you press this one, or if it's the left, or if they go back that, or like the difference between a tracking throw or the non-tracking ones. And then there's times where my throw is untechable, so there'll be like a white flash on the screen, and it's usually when you catch somebody using armor.
Dang. Yeah, like, it's not just, oh, I pressed the button to tech the throw. Yay! It's like, no, there's a lot more intricacies that go into that. That was my primary question. You gotta hook me up with that genie, man, because I got a couple questions I gotta ask.
The genie is just experience and spending time with your game. I mean, when I wanted to compete for CFGC, I had to sit down with myself And the entire summer, anytime I had free time, it was playing rank, figuring out what character is the best for me, and just running that same thing for months and months straight.
Yeah, and going back to the first match that you played, you played against Lydia, which is what we expected. What I saw was your ability to negate so much of what I interviewed you before. Lydia's great when she's using her heat moves, when she's installed. How do you negate when you go into match and now you're kind of down, you're getting back down? How do you negate her ability to use that stuff?
So a lot of the times, especially when it comes to Lydia, and I think I did in one of the matches, is just I have to hold them in my space the entire time. So I started off with going with a lot of mix-ups and a lot of forcing her to guess. So then she's not able to panic mode go into heat, because when she activates heat, that's when I start going on the back burner, because then she gets all of these moves and heaven and earth stance, and it's, I lose all my health to one mistake. And so it's really just essentially making her make the mistake first by constantly forcing her to guess and, instilling the mental fatigue, especially with playing Lars. It's I have to keep pushing against you for you to eventually to make those mistakes, and then I can, go for 5 lows in a row. Well, because you're like, oh, he's going to do a high. I swear he's going to do a high. Then, that's how I, hold people in the spot I need them to be in.
Keep them in that rock, paper, scissors.
Yes.
Guessing the rock the whole time, and it's paper.
Stereotypically, Tekken players do not block low, so
Yeah.
if I just keep throwing rock out.
We saw that in the Brian match specifically.
Was not teching those lows at all. You near got a perfect round on him because he just was not looking down.
Was not looking down at all.
The last round was hard. I was like, man, I lost. So I just kind of went into my last team match and I was like, I'm just going to fight you. And that's kind of what happened.
That's awesome. I did have one more question. My final question for you is, what do you do to prepare warming up? I know in fighting games, and I play a lot of anime fighters, when you hit your bread and butter is like what you're doing 90% of the time. We saw a lot of moves tonight that you did not throw out the first week on broadcast. So how's that sort of been like for you, looking at, there's 150 moves this character can do. I'm going to a la carte these moves for my starter, a la carte these moves for continuing a punish game. Like, what's that look like?
So for me, especially because with Tekken, you need to spend a lot of time with your fundamentals and your bread and butters. It's like, I get on and I'm repping, okay, what are combos that I should realistically never drop so I can win rounds? So once you're kind of good with those, then you're able to move on to, okay, what moves do you not see thrown out a lot that'll catch people off guard? So, the move where Lars jumps in there, his little Mario jump into the throw, you don't really get that a lot. So then after you've gone through your fundamentals and you practice, then you're able to kind of branch out. Because a lot of Tekken players have a bad issue of starting in the wrong spot. They see cool character and say, I'm going to learn the combos, and then come back in the fundamentals afterward, and that kind of stops you. So in my warm-up, it's a lot of drill my bread and butters on both sides, and then it's, what moves can I do in neutral, what moves can I do as, keep-off tools.
I love that you said both sides, because sometimes you practice the one side, you get it down, and then you go to reverse it on the other side, and you're like, oh, why am I dropping this? What am I doing? It can be very tilting.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed your ability to adapt. The player we saw tonight, completely different from the player we saw first on broadcast. Both were great, but the evolution is of a player going through learning and playing against new people in a league like this is so much fun to watch, and I just gotta say it's been really fun to cast both of these weeks that we've casted so far.
Thank you.
Likewise. And we have action coming up too, so stay tuned, because we'll be back with some Rocket League action here in just a little bit.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway.
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
Cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.